Mulberry.
So I started, yeah, I remember that race. Why, dude? 100 meters is not that much farther, but it sure feels like it when you're running.
Well, you only have there's a few tough races in my opinion. You got your 3,200, 800, and your 300-meter hurdles. To me, those are the three toughest races because you're having to jump over. In 300-meter hurdles, you have to jump over something. Everybody else is just running straight.
Well, and when you're running, you have a breathing pattern. You can try to control it, but when you're hurdling, it's like
I love watching the mile guys because they have time to look at their watch. They're running, and they're like, "Okay, I'm on pace." You can't do that 300-meter hurdles,
dude. And then they're done, and they're like, "Dang it!" Like a little winded.
I missed my third lap. I was off a couple of seconds.
Why is that, man? Why is it when I run, I feel like if I'm not on the floor, I didn't run hard enough?
Some people don't like pain.
Well, I don't like it either, but I don't like losing either.
Well, there you go. You're willing to endure the pain.
Because that goes away. Losing never goes away.
No, you're right. Pain does subside, but yeah,
sometimes I'll wake up like, I only got 6th. Sometimes, because what pisses me off is my dad told me at the state race, he told me at the race, dude, you came out of the turn, you were in first place. I was like, you're telling me I was in
your
first?
Senior year?
Yeah.
You were in first place. Well, that was the plan.
In lane 9.
That was the plan. I had, I'd never been to the state meet as a coach in that race. Like, I've had kids in other races, but I didn't coach them personally.
Right.
So when I was observing, dude, I learn more by just watching and what works and what can work for you and body type and whatnot. And your junior year after we got 16th?
Yeah, that sounds about
Dude,
right.
You got to think about that. In order to go from 10 places, I don't care what anybody says.
Well,
that's a big deal.
Yeah, but it depends on the talent level because my time the next year would have got first in state.
That sucks, by the way. But yes.
I would have wrecked shop, dude.
Things happen to kids in the hurdles. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
People hit the hurdle,
absolutely.
You fall down, was it Lindsay? Who's the cat?
Andre Lindsay
showed up at the state meet with a brace on or something, or covering his knees. He had like a band.
Yeah, he went to Stag.
What happened to him? And you were like, I had a huge fall in practice, and I don't even think I'd let you even practice a hurdle.
Man,
we did some drills.
Yeah,
but you didn't go over any hurdles. No. It was all about keeping you fresh.
Well, I finally realized you knew what you were doing when when I was running and I was warming up because I warmed up by myself and I see the dudes doing the speed band before a race.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I go back then. You're like, hey, that guy, I ain't worried about that guy. And I was like, what do you mean? He had the band coach. He's in a full-on workout right before the race.
He's there working out, dude.
I think that guy's supposed to be like top 5 or something like that.
You know who it was? It was that Sipes kid who beat me at section.
Yeah.
Now,
divisionals.
Yeah, he was
divisionals.
No, it was.
Yeah, he beat you in divisionals. You beat him at Masters.
Yeah, beat him in Masters.
Yeah, and he was doing it at Masters.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'd do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I had nightmares with that shit.
I mean, I when I was younger and I didn't have as many kids, I did the USA, certified, track certified. I think level 1, level 2. I don't know which one I'm at. And the big thing for them was rest. Like, your body needs to rest. Like, if you don't, before you can really peak at the end, you need to be as fresh as you can.
So you took a class or something on this?
Yeah. I've been to a ton of clinics. I love learning. Yeah, football, basketball clinics. Any sport that I'm in, oh yeah, any edge I can get, absolutely.
Well, I'm big on just because you're really good at something doesn't mean you could teach it.
That's extremely true. I mean, there's a reason why Magic Johnson didn't make it as a head coach for a long time. He just had a hard time getting his passion to the athletes. They just didn't work like he did. Michael Jordan has never coached. Larry Bird was a great coach.
There's just some guys, man. I just think they're just really good at it. But when it comes to translating that to other people.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Well, it's the relationship aspect and relating that information. Every one of you guys that I coached were different. So I couldn't talk to you, take the information and apply it to you the way I could apply it to somebody else. I only yelled at you because you used to come out, the seventh period, looking like your first 6 periods or 5 periods of the day were the hardest periods of your life. So, yeah, man.
All I ate at lunch was a bag of hot Cheetos.
I gotta bring the energy. Absolutely. I feel that if I'm up and I'm ready to practice, and I don't even get a chance to compete, because that's what it's all about, and you're over there, then bro, you gotta get on my level. And if I gotta raise my voice
it's
a
Monday.
little bit, Monday's the best day to get to work. Monday is the best. Everybody hates Mondays, so we're gonna love Mondays. It is what it is. But yeah, it's transferring that information on is different. Like, it's the reason why a lot of catchers become managers.
I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people don't realize how they're in charge of the game, not the pitchers, not anyone else.
Yeah,
they're in charge of
the calls the game.
Yeah,
a lot of those guys, Mike Socia, guys like that. I mean, you know, Girardi, they make great managers.
Girardi's a psycho, man. I used to love watching him getting people's grills, man.
Super intense. But a lot of those guys that are catchers end up becoming really good managers. I think, God, I can't believe I feel stupid at forgetting the old Yankee manager.
Torrey?
I think he was a catcher, wasn't he?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He's old,
smart
man.
Dude.
That's beyond my time.
You got to know your history, man. You know your Dallas history. Dallas Cowboy.
Shout out Herschel Walker trade.
Bro, it was a big trade. That guy was a stud. I mean,
dude, how come no one asked questions about 7 draft picks for one guy? That's how the Cowboys got 3 Super Bowls that quick.
That's true. Well, not really, if you think about it,
dude.
Well, Chicago Bulls, right? The year they have the first and the third round pick.
Okay.
First and third, they take Tyson Chandler and Eddie Curry. Do you know who those guys are?
No.
So you still got to pick them. You know, Tyson Chandler's still playing, still a solid role player, and ended up being a really good NBA player. I think they took him at 3.
Okay.
They took Eddie Curry at 1. So it's all about how you pick. Look at the Warriors.
Yeah.
Steph, Clay, Draymond, you draft those guys. So you could say that's how we got good. But what if you look at that draft and they drafted the guys that they drafted?
I understand, but you also have 7 to pick from. And you can't. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
And a lot of them were Hall of Famers.
Well, think about Josh Jacobs right now. He's basically what they're saying is the swap for Khalil Mack. So we'll see how that goes in the next couple of years. You know, Josh Jacobs was a really good player. Khalil Mack is a once in a whatever type of player.
Yeah, that you guys got rid of.
But at the end of the day, the couple of the picks that we had more sacks last year than Khalil Mack, but they're paying him quarterback money.
Yeah, that's true.
So he can't throw a touchdown.
And the Bears suck. So.
Yeah, well, you know, every NFL team at the end of the day, if you're not winning the bowl, you know, you're just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You might have went a little further. You might suck a little less than the other team. But at the end of the day, if you don't win it, it don't matter.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I hear it. It don't matter. I hear it every day.
But here's the deal: it was not your choice to be a Cowboys fan.
That's true. For those who don't know, my name's Dallas.
Yeah.
And that's literally why.
Was not your choice. My kid is
dude, my dad wanted to name me Emmett.
Duh.
That'd have been sick.
No way.
Huh? Yeah.
Oh wow.
That'd have been sick, man. Emmett.
You think you'd been okay with that?
Oh hell yeah.
I didn't like my name when I was growing up. My
Why
mom
not?
named me after a soap opera star.
Seneca.
Yeah. Seneca Bolak, Ryan's Hope, 1970.
Dude, but that's rare though.
But it is. But when you have an A in your last name, immediately I was I had some stories about that. But you know, eventually as the years went on, and what was your name again? Seneca. Oh, I like that. So do I. But I'm in my 20s, you know. But in my teen years, oh man, having to teach the teacher how to pronounce my name,
right?
Yeah, it was rough, man.
Yeah.
I'm already in the back of the class. My last name starts with a Y. You know, it was interesting, but at least I didn't really have a ton of a choice. The Raiders were on all the time in the LA area, so
okay,
it just made sense. LA Raiders, Lakers, Dodgers, Kings. You know, I followed all the LA teams.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man.
So,
For those who don't know, if you haven't figured it out already, I got a legend next to me.
I'm working on it.
This is
Working on it.
This is my old coach. This is Coach Ibarra, and I feel like pretty much everyone knows who this dude is because he's probably been in your face a time or two. If he was your coach.
Out of love.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out.
That's what you guys need to realize is that those moments aren't for the moment. Like, yeah, I know you guys don't think about it like back then.
Dude, but you're right. I mean, dude, I had no other coach, teacher, role model who put as much effort in as you did just with everything. Like,
I appreciate
you know what I'm
that.
saying?
I'm just to let you know.
Because the funny stories that I talk about, I mean, those shits, that's branded in to my brain.
Forever, yeah.
And, you know, I like, it's things that I talk about and we joke about and I, you know, talk shit like, man, but it's highly appreciated.
Nah, yeah, I appreciate it. If you haven't noticed or you will notice, I have a hard time taking compliments.
I like your shirt, by the way.
You know, I got to represent. That's the
You know
deal.
what I'm saying? USU.
That's the deal. If we help you get to college, let me walk around town and represent. I
appreciate that, man.
You know, all kinds of different shirts from different kids that have been, you know, I have a drawer, and I don't care the sport, basketball, football, track, you know, I just want to represent.
Hell yeah, man.
We got a guy, and people ask, oh, Aggies, you know, then it's a talking point.
Yeah.
I got a guy out there running college track, you know, that I'm proud of.
Hell yeah.
I don't think, especially with track, football, you're on a bus with I don't know how many guys. Basketball, you got 10, 12 guys. Literally, in some of these big meets, it's me and you. In the suburban, if you're that good, it's me, you, and maybe another cat that you want to hang out with. That's not running. That's just chilling. It's just there to keep you company and stretch you and whatnot. The big meets, and you get really close. You learn a lot about each other. The conversation flows and the information flows. And when kids feel comfortable, and they have a lot of questions and a lot of you know, interaction that age, and you really get to know each other and you really bond. That's what I loved about track and field was that, you know, I couldn't wait for the big. I like coaching all the kids. It's a lot of fun. I love development. I love seeing kids get better, even if it's a point whatever, man.
It's a big deal in track.
It's a big deal because you get what you put out. Like football, you can kind of cheat the game. You not practice a couple days, you're hurt, your ankle. But you go out and still perform.
And because you have a team to help you.
But if you do not put that time in on the track, you will get embarrassed.
It'll show.
You will. Somebody will film you hitting the hurdle and falling down or coming in last place. And if you're okay with that, then you're not a competitor.
Yeah.
And if you're putting the time in at practice, even a little bit better is a big deal, you know. So I always appreciated that. I always appreciated that time with a guy like you know, Trevor, you know, Gilmore, all the hurdle guys that, you know, you brought with the 4x4 teams.
Yeah.
Shout out to, I can't even remember his name right now. Who's running? Abraham Alvarado.
He's a beast, man. And you know what?
Bro.
He was like that in high school. His
Shout
mentality.
Out. Man, that guy.
His mentality was like that in high school too.
He's legit. Shout out, man.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
Shout out to Abraham
that guy,
Alvarado,
you know,
man.
went in California or Atwater. I don't know where he's from, but he's from this area, and that guy always, and he got better as it went.
Yep.
You know,
he rose to the occasion.
Rose to the occasion because of his dedication to the sport and wanting to compete and be better. But we're all in the suburban, and we're all traveling, you know, wherever. Yeah, I love being a dad. Best job, best experience of my life, man. Being a dad, and I feel like somebody like you, and saying, no, I have more than 4 kids.
Right.
You know, I mean, I have all you guys. I love it. There's no better way to affect, you know, kids' lives, and sports is big, and that's why I'm excited. June 22nd, we're supposed to be getting back at it.
You guys haven't been able to practice?
We haven't been able to practice. I miss my guys, man. This COVID thing's been real hard on me just because I love my guys and I love interacting with those guys. And I know a lot of times, you know, they shouldn't be home. You know,
right.
Some of these kids got real tough home lives. So going to school and seeing us, seeing their coaches and seeing their teachers is a really big thing for them. And they need to realize that it's a really big thing for us too, for me. And I miss those bonds and those relationships. And that's why I teach. It's why I coach. Yeah, I want to win games. Yeah, I want to win races, but it's all about
You
the
know what's crazy?
relationships.
I do not remember you being like this when I was a student.
What do you?
I'm not okay. When you were my coach when I was in high school,
Yeah.
like I feel like you got nicer. There's no way that you were like this before.
Absolutely.
Hell no, dude.
Oh man, here's the deal.
Maybe I just hear shit differently now.
If I was really nice to you, would you have respected me? Was
I
I
would've
ever
respected you.
disrespectful to you?
Were you ever disrespectful to
Yeah.
me? That's debatable, but
Yeah,
I didn't
I'll
take
take
it. I didn't.
No, I'm taking it. If you look back as a 20-something-year-old now, and how you took it, and whatnot, did it work?
Yeah, it worked because that's how it worked for
Yeah.
me. That's
So
why my dad is
but
like
everybody's different. See, I can't, and that's the tough part about a coach. Everybody wants a coach to be the same to everybody, and you can't. Because as a parent, you can't treat your kids all the
Right.
same. I treat all dude, I can't. Your kids are all different. You guys are all different.
My dad was the first one who told me that.
You got to motivate each kid differently. I couldn't walk up to you and go, "Hey, buddy, how's your day going? You doing good?
You want to run first on the
What do you
4x4?
think?" Because if I gave you the choice,
Easy way out every day.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I walk up to somebody like Abraham who's already amped up. I just got to place him in. Here you go. Here's your line. Here's your baton. Here's
luck.
practice. He's there at practice. He's like grinding away at practice. I mean, he's at practice.
I'm like, Coach ain't here today?
Yeah, Coach ain't here.
Day off.
So there you go.
Off.
Everybody's different. So
That's true.
I can't. I can't. I don't do it on purpose. I just kind of realize that everybody's motivated a little differently. But I've had kids go to college or have kids go to the military and come back and give me hugs. And they're like, the way you motivated me, first of all, I knew you loved me. Any question with that?
No.
Any question that
No,
I ever
not
cared?
at all.
Okay.
Initially, because I was like, dude, who is this dude? Like, I was like, dude, this dude's an asshole for no reason. Like, at all. But you know what? You probably did your homework. You already kind of knew about me. Or
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
So you just was like that?
I just took a look at you. and we're trying to run. And I watch you take 2 steps back to the next line. And then you weren't in the first group. So
Oh, yeah.
if you're
Well,
not,
I thought you knew me first from football.
No, man. I was cold turkey. I coached varsity. You were a JV kid.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't know who you were. But I watched your body language. And I watched you
Chilling.
take 2 steps to the back.
Chilling.
And then somebody else jumped to the front, and you took another step to the back. And then
Chilling.
And then you're in the last group.
Last group. And I
Last
probably got
group,
first.
And last group of sprints, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then when we were going hurdles, and you come to my group, and I'm like, so I had.
Oh, see, but you already knew then. That's what I'm
After watching.
saying. Okay, but you before the first introduction between.
That was my introduction.
But verbal.
That was my first verbal introduction, and I already knew that you needed a foot firmly placed in your hind parts from the first 10 minutes that I met you, and it never changed. What I began to learn and appreciate about you as time went on, that I had to motivate you through the week, but it was time to get in the blocks.
Thank you.
When it's time to get into the blocks, I shut down. How many days did I yell at you race day?
Never. Never did you yell at me.
Nope.
Never did you come over and help warm me up because
Nope.
I didn't need that.
Nope, you didn't need it.
I just did it on my own.
Yep.
Race day, honestly, I never saw you.
Nope.
I saw you when you dropped us off.
Yep.
And I saw you
after
I raced.
Because my job was done.
That's crazy. I didn't even, no disrespect, I didn't even sit with the group.
You saw me in the stands.
But I didn't sit, I didn't really place my shit with the team.
Nope.
I just went by myself.
Yep.
And I disappeared.
That was your process.
Because I needed just
I respected your process.
I appreciate that.
And I knew that about you. And that's what it's about, knowing your athlete.
Right.
So Monday through Thursday or whatever, you needed a foot in your ass.
That's true.
And it wasn't, I couldn't miss a day. Name one day I missed.
Well,
Not grinding on you. I know you guys are going to tell that story. That's not true, by the way.
Yo,
Full
I'm
true.
snitching.
But you keep telling it like that because it's funnier. Don't change it. Don't change that story.
I'm not going to.
No, don't change that story at all. But I knew you. That's the big part, and that's what I take pride on is knowing individually, like how you tick, how to get the best out of you in the best moments. I knew that certain point where I just needed to get you healthy and fresh to the starting line and give you a game plan, and then it got to a point. You remember this, your senior year, where you started thinking.
I do remember that.
You started like questioning me, like and thinking.
No, I wasn't questioning.
Like,
I just
hey, what
had
if
some
I did
questions
this?
for you.
And I'm like, why are you asking me questions?
You got mad at me because I'm trying to better myself.
Why are you trying to better yourself now?
I don't know
doing
why.
Everything I've ever told you to do.
Dude, for 4 years I just hurdled, and then my senior year before like masters, I was counting my steps and like asking.
I never
like,
told you to do that.
Well, I know, but I wanted to get faster, so I wanted to learn to alter instead of taking like 18 and even all the way around. I wanted to do 17.
Yeah, you have no business thinking. That's not the
No.
way you work.
I know.
That's not the way you work. If
It still worked
you
out.
were getting faster and you were getting stronger, and I acknowledged that, and so I laid off even more, and I just went to we just need to get you up the first hurdle clean, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because if I did more, if we started thinking about the race, then I just knew that it wouldn't work out for you at the end. You were all guts. So, we had our specific technique to get where we got to go. Why are we changing? Why are we changing stuff? Were we fourth in the state at one point? And I say we.
No, absolutely.
Because we're on this journey together. I can't, I feel like one day I'll be able to, I feel confident in my ability to get there again. Because I think I'm just confident in my ability to coach, but I don't know. Deprogramming or getting you to settle down was another part of it.
What do you mean?
Of getting you to relax and just
like
quit thinking and keep balling.
Yeah,
that's another part. But yeah, on race days, I'd wave at you after they gave you water, whatever, and you'd freak out like and everybody's looking at you like okay. Lane 4. Then I'd wave. I'd say hi. And enjoy the ride. That's another part of it people don't realize. But I love competitors. Kids that are wired that way, that are wired to compete, that aren't afraid to fail. I learn more from failing.
You know what? And for people who don't know, I mean, I talked about this on I did a podcast where I just talked pretty much all track.
Yeah.
I fell my very first hurdle race twice in the same race.
That's awesome.
Embarrassed. Like I think it was at like Sierra High.
Mm-hmm. If they fall in a race, they coach. I'm not doing hurdles.
That's what I'm saying. I was all bloody. Belle came over with a little smile. You all right? And I'm like, have my head down. My parents come over. I'm thinking I'm gonna get comforted. My dad's like, damn, dude, I don't know if you're supposed to fall over him like that. Being a smart ass. I'm a freshman, first race. I was like, I hate this shit. And you know what? Shout out to Coach Bell because when I went out to track, he lined everyone up. And like he knew who was what. But then like some of the freshmen, he'd be like, what do you want to do? And it got down to me. I was the very last kid standing there. And he's like, I don't even think he knew me. He's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. He's like, all right, go do hurdles. And that's how I started.
Well, as a defensive back coach, I tell my guys to come out for track all the time, obviously, to get faster.
That's why I did track.
Hurdling for defensive backs, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal cross training. All you're doing is hip action. So that's all you're doing when you're backpedaling. So I became defensive back coach and a hurdle coach because you get double the time. So I think it's a great cross training. That's why you're also defensive back. So I think it's a great training off season. You're running and you're also getting more flexible mobility and learning how to compete. I think track's just a phenomenal sport for football players.
And that was initially the reason I did track. My dad wanted me to play baseball and I wanted to play baseball too, but I was like, you know what, like football is what I really wanted to focus on. Yeah. And I knew the football coaches were also the track coach.
I was also
like
your
Bell.
DB coach. So
yeah, so I was like, I'm just gonna do track, Dad. I don't really care.
I do have a question for you though, because even to this very day,
oh no.
Well, nobody has questions for you, so I'm flipping this.
I know, man. This is fucking put me on the spot now.
How did you feel your junior year coming out like you did? Because those first couple of games, man, how did that feel? Because you were an okay
for football?
player. Yeah, you're okay. You're an okay player your freshman year. Sophomore year, all right, but dude, you're coming out and you're freaking running 80-yard sweeps to the house. You're freaking taking.
I've been meaning to talk about this.
We changed
Thank
that
you.
offense for that year. We're in a shotgun sweep situation, and you're hitting the corner, man, and you're pulling.
So let me back up a little bit on that, because that's something that because I remember, youth doesn't matter, but when I played youth, I was really good. I played running back, and I remember my Uncle Stephen, Tracer and Trevor's dad, told me, every touchdown you get, I'll give you $5 for the season.
Hey,
dude, I got like 22 touchdowns that year.
Nice.
And so like I was
motivated.
And I was good, and I really think I was honestly a late bloomer in high school.
Oh, that exists. 100%.
Puberty wise,
100%.
Like I remember, like
my brother was too.
Yeah, my 7th and 8th grade year. Like, I just remember, like, everyone was getting big, had facial hair, starting to show muscle. I was little. Freshman year, no pads fit me. I was so little, and but I was this kid who was good.
Mm-hmm. You could run. Yeah.
It affected me a little bit mentally, because I was like, dude, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what do I need to do? But then sophomore year, I got a little bigger, a little stronger. Then junior year was a challenge for me. I told myself, I said, now I have to play with these seniors.
Yeah.
They're older than me. I want to be a part of this team. Like, I want to be a part of this team. I want to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Every
so
player.
I busted my ass junior year.
Yeah.
Because I knew, like, I had to beat out a couple guys
that could run a little bit.
That felt like they probably had the spot already,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew it. And I was like, nah, dude, like, I'm going to – and I tried hard, man, and I went to every practice. I busted my ass, and I got the starting spot for running back. And Merrill West, man, first game.
First game, bro.
Dude, that was one of the greatest, like, probably one of the best times for me at besides, like, track for football.
Yeah.
That was probably, that year was my best athletic year for football, man.
Oh, yeah.
Just
you weren't making plays for us that year. You made it go because it made the inside game go. But, yeah, once you hit the corner, it was.
Yeah, like, I
almost saw you got run down one time in your career.
Kermit.
What
team you played for?
Edison.
Yeah, and Trevor pushed him out of bounds. He came back in bounds and caught me
and ran you down.
Yeah, he was fast. But no, junior year was a very special year for me. I feel like every accolade I got that year, I earned that for sure.
Absolutely.
And I was always a player, man. I always kept my mouth shut. I just played. I wasn't really a leader vocally.
No.
Or, a team leader like that. Because I was one of those, people get nervous for the games. They get hyped up. They start yelling shit. I was really just inside.
I know. Same thing with track came competition day. And
being such an extrovert, too, when you ask anyone, like, I'm always obnoxious and all over the place. But when it came down to, like,
you
game time,
not
dude,
like that
I was not like that, man.
On game days.
And the whole day, I was just
I
quiet,
agree.
nervous, just thinking about it.
I
just,
agree. But I counted on that.
Yeah, that's why I don't think anyone was worried about it. Like,
track,
man.
I counted on that. I expected you to be quiet. I expected you to be focused, ready to go. And that part, I didn't need to show you.
Right.
You already had kind of had that. It was go time. Perfect example, Modesto Christian, on our first Atwater track meet that we host, the Spring Classic.
I remember
that, and you weren't even. I don't know if you were gonna run. You were pissed. It was kind of wet and rainy.
It was rainy,
and
I didn't really want to run that day. The heat in front of me. Some kid. I did not want to run today. I did not want to run.
No.
It was raining. It was cold.
Had a little back thing going on.
Yeah, my back was
hurting. We were
hurting.
kind of keep you out.
Some kid from Modesto Christian gets the school record or the meet record.
The meet record.
Gets the meat record, and
they
Rhodes over there.
It too.
Rhodes over there announcing it. I was like, who?
James something. I forgot the cat's name.
I literally was like, hell no.
Yeah.
I took my
warmed
Dude, I didn't even have track clothes. I had like my dad's old crew neck and like his old beanie that said Weed California on it.
Yeah,
like I did not care that day. I was not trying to do nothing.
No.
Took everything
we
off.
We had a big meet that weekend.
Yeah.
And it was a weird Wednesday, spring break, Easter break.
Yeah.
So we had like on a Wednesday. So we were gonna hold you out, and then we are gonna run you that weekend. So afraid of your back.
Yeah, and I was just gonna kind of not really bust my ass that race, just kind of do it. But This dude got the meat record, and I just took my shit off, and he had it for about a minute, and I whooped that record's ass, boy, and I destroyed everyone in my heat.
Yes.
I didn't even care about them. I'm getting this record.
I'm not even trying to run today. What? Oh, no! You freaking start ripping your clothes off. Start running over there. No way that man's gonna have the meat record at my school. Man. At my school.
This is where I work out every day.
Work out. This is my track.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
And it was a competitive time. It wasn't BS. Time's like a 38, 39 or something like that.
Dude, it was like, yeah, you're gonna earn. If you're gonna beat this, you're gonna earn it.
Yeah, it was a good time. He ran a good time,
which is hard to do by yourself.
By himself.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, and I'll admit it now. But I egged you on.
What do you mean you egged me on?
I was like, hey, look at that guy, Modesto Christian. Did you hear that time? You heard of this guy? It was, and I know you a little bit, and you kind of ignored me as usual, which is fine. And I get that. But I was like, man, you heard of that guy? Look how big he is. He was all yoked out, freaking thighs. And
I was like, bro, I don't care.
Yeah,
dude.
There it is.
There's no one good at the Atwater High track meet but me.
There it is. There it is.
Who are these dudes, bro? Where do you guys get these guys from? I was just talking shit. He goes out, and I'm watching. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Gets the meat record, and I was like, nah, hold my beer.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Not warmed up, barely warmed up. So you're not even warmed up. I got it. It's fine.
That was just me though, man. I don't know.
It was fun times. But here, and that's the deal. We just had a guy signed with Sac State. Shout out to Xavier Williams.
Yeah, shout out to
who had
Xavier.
the same makeup competitively. You know what I mean? It's and you ran D1 track, and he's gonna go play D1 football.
He's a big man,
and is a big man. But that mentality, like I've been coaching long enough now, and I've been multiple sports. So I did 3 sports for 15 years.
You see a lot of personalities.
Man, Alan Huddleston, I coached him. He ended up playing at Pacific and Fresno State. A bunch of other guys that were D1 caliber guys. I mean, he was a basketball guy, but he also was a heck of a quarterback. I coached you, Trevor Coleman, who we had D1 schools flying in to come see Trevor, and I also had him for track. Corey, we coached, guys at Merced. I coached some really talented athletes throughout, different sports. But that mentality, man, is what sets everybody, because you just don't have it on that day. You got to take care of the classroom. You got to make the good decisions. You got to do things right if you really want to get to that level. It isn't just ability.
Yeah.
Like you can have D1 talent, but you can have NAIA grades, or you can have NAIA talent, but D1 grades. It's hard to put those together, and the kids have a hard time realizing that maybe I'm not D1, or maybe I'm not D1A or 2, whatever. They're hearing everything else, but just go compete. It's a kid's game. You're basically going to compete and get something you did when you were a little kid, playing 3 flies up or whatever.
Yeah.
Or tackle football or tag or whatever, or basketball, rec ball, like your dad and I were talking about earlier. And someone's going to give you an education, no matter what the level. Go compete. Go have fun. Life's all about competition. And when it's over, dude, I broke something. I'm playing turkey bowl football, and I'm throwing dimes. I don't care what anybody says. I'm throwing dimes, bro. I'm throwing it down the field. I'm hucking the ball, and I'm running, and I feel something pop. I don't even know what it is, but it's in my legs. It's in my leg somewhere. Like
something hurts.
And all of a sudden, I'm hobbling, and I chuck the ball, and it's like, one day you'll see that when all the old guys see an old guy get hurt. It's like, just get the gun already and just shoot me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're sitting there, bro, man, I know. Damn, I feel bad for you because we're old now.
Yeah.
Your recovery.
Is that when you realize, like, man, this is it?
My recovery was like 6 months before I could not, I'm not limping. I was in the training room with Ed Kemp almost every day, getting that hamstring right. And that fool go out there still run limb flat. 10-9 with a bulky hamstring. I got a bulky hamstring, bro. If I don't have the right shoes on, I'm going to trip.
Like, this thing got enough cushion?
Yeah, it's got enough cushion. Am I good? And I'm over there working that, and this guy had a bulky hammy, and he's running 11 flat, 10-9.
Yeah.
I mean, the young body is phenomenal. I don't remember things hurting. That's how it was. I mean, yeah, it was some soreness. Now something tight. Nah, man, when you get old, when you hit the deck like that and your hamstring just bop, it's a different healing process.
We can never get the handoff right, me and Kemp. You know what, though? Because Kemp was very talented, man, and when it came to race day, he would take off hard.
He's the one that got amped.
He would take
like
off.
You're saying earlier about the guys that get super amped.
Yeah, that's him.
Ed
because at practice, we'd practice,
Yeah,
right? And
'cause
he's
it's just
chilling,
practice.
and I give it
It's
to him.
just
Okay,
practice.
this is our steps. We're good.
Yeah, no.
Dude,
He'd get to a meet,
he would leave me,
and
bro.
he's like, well, you know who he's running against?
Who was he running? Moreno?
Shaq Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Shaq Thompson, Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, and hey, Shaq Thompson, he won't remember, but I did beat him in a 4x4 race. But I might have been running for my life that race.
I mean, come on, you know.
Those dudes were tatted up.
Ready to
Look,
go.
dude, I was like, who are these guys, man? This
there's
is a high school race.
You know, there's some people need to realize you go to these big track meets, Masters, you go to state. Man, some of these guys are just phenomenal athletes.
They're just built for it.
You would just never believe that a guy like that exists, and he's running, 10.6, and the way they're built, and everybody's a different size, and it's just amazing. But yeah, he's running against guys that are NFL caliber, playing in the NFL still.
Shaq Thompson on the Panthers, the dude who false started at the state meet, Victor Bolden is on the Bills. He's an NFL player.
He's an NFL player, yeah. You see, you'd be amazed.
He went to
how
Oregon
many
State.
NFL guys that were there, yeah. Oh yeah, shout out Oregon State. Fight. Go Beavs. Yeah.
Beavers,
Class
huh?
of 2001. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Man, I raced against college was that was another whole nother level, man. That's when I realized, like, man, this is a whole track was just
Everybody's
some shit.
good.
Track was just some shit I did.
Yeah.
This shit they're living it.
Man.
They live it.
When you see people out here running 100-degree heat, some of those cross country folk,
Oh, they love
respect.
it. What's his name? Guerrero.
Oh yeah, John.
Dude, he's running all the time. I see him all the time.
I hate running. I'll put it out there. I'm not wired that way.
Well, people are like, well, you ran track. You should be able to run. I'm like, dude, long distance and sprinting are two very different things.
Oh, how about when guys think the long distance is 400 meters? Oh, that's the worst conversation.
That's not
to
even
have
mid.
with a sprinter.
That's not even
Coach,
mid-range.
I don't do long distance. That's a lap, coach. Are you
That's also a
serious?
sprint.
That's a sprint. It's a sprint. You sprint one lap. It's not like you're running 800. Hey, shout out to all the 800 runners.
That's probably the hardest race. I ran it once.
laps.
You made me run it once.
2 laps fast.
Yeah, fast.
You got to run 2
Abraham
laps.
is sprinting
Dude,
those.
2 laps.
And he's probably... Never mind. Yeah,
And so sometimes he comes back a little faster the second. I mean, you come back faster the second time. Some guys go out hard, come back, little slower. Some guys run a competitive first lap and then an even faster second.
I'm good.
I mean,
1 lap is too much for me, but you know what? Like you said, different personalities. Like I wouldn't run it the same. I wouldn't run it the same if I went first than I did. When
I do that too.
You made me run last.
Your ass run.
I was like, Coach, I'm gonna start. No, Coach ripped me, dude.
Oh, yeah.
The one time Coach Rhodes got in my face because Merced beat us and they got like the school record, the track record or something. Because I ran first because I didn't want to run it, so I jogged it.
And I went up to him and I said, I know how to make him run.
Yeah, make me run last.
He's like, how do we do that? And I'm like, you give that boy the baton last, and there's a couple people in front of him who's like Seabiscuit. He don't want. Go get him, boy. Go get him. You don't want. He's not gonna want to lose. You come back and look at me crawling after the race, throwing up, and man, great job.
Because Raymond went first. Shout out to Raymond, and I think Abraham went second.
Yeah.
And then they got a huge lead for Nahara.
Oh, I love Michael still.
And then Michael
Should have been Ed, but that hammy was kind of funky.
Michael would just be trying to hang on, and it would get close.
Yeah.
And it would have to come down to me, and I used to hate that shit.
Yeah. No, you didn't.
Momentarily.
No, you didn't.
At the moment.
At the pain in the moment. But.
Well, no, what I hated was I'd go, this is going to hurt.
Did you think that, really?
I think that's what I was most nervous for. Was like this
The
is
pain?
gonna suck,
Yeah.
man. But you know what? And what made me nervous is because I accepted that I was going to run my ass off.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna do it. So like that's what I was trying to get over as he was coming down 50 meters left, and I'm like, and then
I always knew too, because if we came around the 200-meter mark and he was laboring, it was gonna be a hard race for you.
Yeah.
And
Some races he was good.
Some
Like,
days he was
did good.
Well, you know, his practice was because he had to go home, and we respected that and understood that. And like I said, probably should have been Ed, but
yeah,
Ed was a little
it's
bulky
all
with the
good.
legs. Yeah, I mean,
I miss that squad. It was
they're
one of my
fun
favorite
times,
squads.
man. You guys were, and that's what it's about. You know, close knit, those experiences. How do you feel? Because you're a football track guy. When your brother, like, usually brothers follow kind of each other in the same sports, but he lived in the pool.
Well, I was actually very happy for him.
Really?
Yeah, my brother Dalton, because I just knew, you know,
because your dad.
My dad made him do So my dad was making him do shit I was doing, and he just didn't like it, and I could just tell, you know. So
that's a big deal.
It is, and you know what? For a long time, he did live in my shadow, and I'm really glad. I'm really happy he found his own lane.
Niche. Yeah.
And he went and did that, and you should see his freshman picture to his senior picture.
I remember him. Yeah,
he looks like the damn Foster Freeze ice cream dude on the sign.
To me, he looked like a
freshman year.
E.T. Just all legs.
He did.
And all arms.
Yeah.
Sack belly.
He did like, damn, bro, you drinking?
Yeah.
12-pack a day or what?
He stretched out.
No, but he
that weenie voice. He used to get picked. I couldn't even pick on him because I knew that your dad and that you were already.
Well, you had
him all the time.
No. You had him. Yeah, I used to call him Nacho Libre.
Yeah, I had him in summer school.
You had him summer school before he even started freshman year.
Yeah, 8th grade.
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember you played that video where I pulled him from the chair. He was highly upset.
Mad.
He came home like, why'd you borrow that video of you? Like, cause he went to sit down, I yanked the chair from him and he fell, and then I sent it to Ibarra, and then he played it in class in front of all the kids.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I might have.
But you didn't tell no one. All you did was put it up, and everyone started laughing.
They didn't know who it was.
They didn't know who it was.
And then, they still did. He's the only one that knew who it was.
I know.
But I didn't tell you it was him.
Yeah, but you just put it up, and then he was watching it.
Listen.
He was so upset that day.
All you summer school folk, 5.5 hours, sometimes 6, in a class with a kid in the summer.
You get bored,
Same
man.
kids. Oh, man. Yeah, and again, it's about the relationships. And I knew him already.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're in a class with the kids for a long time, and
but it made me a little upset because he can't.
Well, he was mad.
Well, because he can't handle that like me.
Yeah.
I
learned how
just
different you guys were that day.
Very different.
Because you just would have laughed your butt off.
I'd have been like, man, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'd have been like, that's
like,
me.
Super like.
Oh, he like went in his shell, you know.
Super
so
fired up. Yeah, I mean,
but
it still was funny.
Yeah.
But I felt bad after. Next day, I was like, man, I'm sorry about that. And I laid off him after that because I realized that I might have. Yeah. You know.
But no, to answer your question, yeah, I'm very happy that he.
That's cool.
He did his own thing, and it was fun to go watch him. To watch him play water polo and swim, and even in college and at the JC, he was doing.
I heard he got after it out there,
dude. And that's what I'm upset because they had a chance. There's
COVID got him, huh?
Yeah, he had a chance to. He broke his. Before they stopped it, I went to one of his meets, and he had already ran his fastest time or swam his fastest time ever.
Wow!
Like he was getting after it, and I was super pumped for him. And I was awesome. Like, you know.
And how was that watching as a big brother?
I don't even like swimming, but as my brother, and he's doing good. So I would be like, you know, in the stands.
I feel the same way about my kids. We're not a huge baseball family, but my daughter loves softball, and she's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And so I was out there before this all happened. She was learning how to pitch. I didn't know nothing about baseball.
Right.
I know nothing about softball, but there I am out there trying to, you know, teach my daughter how to pitch. And, And she
kind of learning with her along the way.
Learning with her, and she didn't like it very much because she couldn't get it, and so we kind of learned together to where she got it. And I'm bummed she didn't get a chance, but that's just like being a dad, you know.
Yeah.
My older son likes to run. He's not a huge football guy. He likes a little bit of basketball. My middle son loves football. My youngest son, I think, is gonna be my art director.
Think so?
I just don't think he likes to compete yet, and he's just the baby and loves his mama, and that's about it. But he's gonna be he's gonna get all the good genetics, and he's probably gonna be the tallest and the strongest, and he's not gonna like sports, and I'm okay with that. I love sports. I love to compete. My wife, I'll come home and she's watching college football.
Right.
My wife is amazing,
competitive too,
super competitive. We're two peas in a pod in that regard, and we like to get after it. We have taught our kids that we didn't care about how many goals you score. We just want to see you get after it.
Yeah.
So if you watch my kids compete, that's all we care about. Just go hard. Just who cares what happens after that? We just want to be entertained if I'm at these games.
Right.
I'm not trying to watch you sit down in the middle and throw grass up in the air or kind of jog. No, I want to see you compete.
Right.
That's what I'm here for. But you got to be okay with that. Like, I'm not going to live through my kids, bro. I'm not going to do that. They can become whoever they want to be. I'm going to love them no matter what. And I know there's some guys want, I had an okay football career. I was a decent athlete. I'm okay with that. And I know sometimes kids feel the pressure to kind of, live, the parents are kind of pushing them a little bit. And, man, just go have fun. And when it's not fun anymore, and I think maybe that happened to you, track not became fun. I don't know how much fun it was to begin with.
Well, no, you know what?
It changes your perspective. You just don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to make a kid miserable. But when you came back from college, you told me my workouts in high school, helped you more than, they were just all about killing you. There was.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Every person's different, and not everyone is going to benefit from these psycho-ass workouts.
You were telling me some crazy stuff.
Not everyone's going to benefit. It was hurting me.
Yeah, it was pain.
More than it was helping me.
Yeah.
And you know who was helping? The top 2 or 3 who were like damn near could go to the Olympic trials.
Mm-hmm.
Those dudes are
them.
Yeah, that's a different breed.
Yeah,
I understand that.
That's the next level. That's a different level.
That's next level, but they don't care there. They're like, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on.
And if you like it, great. If you don't.
So you're telling me we're running 600, 500, 400, 400, 500, 600? 90%?
90%. Yeah, you were telling me some great stuff.
Yeah, okay. All right, man. Let me get on the line and just start this hell. Yeah, that was the toughest workout I ever did right there.
And it's hard. And that's why I try to foster, especially with track, a fun atmosphere. Yeah, we talk a lot of mess. Yeah, we have a good time. Because, dude, I'm killing you. Like, you're running repeat 2s or you're running, repeat 3s with hurdles. And if you're not out there at least enjoying your time,
I had a lot of fun.
Practice,
joking
around, kind of kidding and kind of talking about whatever's going on in that day, you're not going to want to be there.
Right.
You're getting absolutely destroyed.
Right.
And then we go hit the weight room. And then we go hit the Vertimax. And then you had to go home and do homework.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you're not, having a good time, I believe, then you're just not going to be worth it. You're just going to be miserable. Who wants to be miserable?
Exactly. And I wanted to, and you know what? Just like you said, it was our journey. I really appreciate, Tony Johnson, Nate Gilmore.
Oh, yeah. Hurdle crew.
Yeah, the whole hurdle crew, Burnats. Who else? Mark Morgan, I think, was doing it.
Morgan, yeah. Trevor for a while.
Trevor was doing it. Daniel Uribe.
Yeah.
All those guys, man, because every day we hung out together. We were a group. We did the same shit. We went through it together.
Yeah.
And I highly appreciate every single one of those people.
Yeah, it's bringing you together, rooting for each other in races.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting excited for each other.
And I would like want to see Tony win so bad.
Yeah.
And he would tell me, like, what do I need to do? I'm like, dude, just run your hardest, bro. Like, You
heard from Tony?
Yeah, he's doing good.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I think he's married now.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's cool stuff, man.
He went to the Marines, and then I think he ended up being like a detective or something. He's in Tennessee
that
now.
dude messed his high school career up academically.
Going to adult school every day.
Dude.
Or every Tuesday.
Night school.
Yeah.
Doing, online classes to graduate. Shout out, brother. You got it done. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. You figured it out. So, you
he comes back every once in a while.
That's cool. When you see him, tell him,
I will.
He's on here. Tony, what's up?
Yeah.
I remember all you guys. I enjoy all of them. From the guy who's supposed to win to the guy who's not supposed to win to the guy who's just out there to get better. I highly respect,
how do the kids
any athlete I've ever had.
Yeah. How do you feel I mean, we talked about this before, how the kids respond to you now. I mean, it's kind of a different generation.
You know,
maybe.
when I was an assistant, I had no aspirations of being a head coach ever. Like, I wanted to be a really good defensive back coach.
Right.
And I wanted to be a coordinator as time went on. And being behind the scenes is a lot easier connected with kids because, you know, you got them in their group, and then, you know, just like a quarterback coach in the NFL, you know, you're an offensive coordinator, you're trying to, hey, everything's going to be all right. I get to be that guy.
Right.
For my group. And then when you're the head coach, you got to be that guy for everybody. My goal is to, man, again, I'm a high energy guy. I love having fun. I love coaching. I love being out there. I want to put that across to everybody. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy the competitive part. But I know that life ain't easy. Nothing, you know. And any kid that leaves high school understands that, dude, your life changes dramatically.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's looking at you like, now, hey, what are you going to do with your life? Well, when you're in high school, everybody's like, oh, he's in high school.
I mean, that's like, you go from that 2 months later,
Yeah.
you know, you got to figure it out.
Yeah. And one of the hardest parts I tell kids is if you tell me, hey, I want to go do this, I want to go to state, I want to go to whatever, well, it's my job to get you there. You know, I give you a little kick in the butt, whether you like it or not, but that's what you want. When you get out of high school and you say, hey, I want to go wherever, then you wait for somebody to help you get there.
It's not there
There's
anymore.
nobody there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have that kick in the pants, as to say, or maybe you get it from your family, but you don't want to hear. My kids do not want to be coached by me.
Yeah, I didn't like being coached by my dad.
Dude, my kid looks at me like I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about any sports. You know, one of the coach was, because my son, he runs well, my oldest son. All my kids run well. But, you know, hey, your dad was a decent coach. You know, he can help you out. My kid looked at him and went,
That's crazy.
This old man,
he don't realize what he got in the household.
This old man, you know, and the coach was like, I'm like, he's my kid, man. You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen to me. So that's the great thing about having that relationship with your dad, is I know how you're getting pushed at home or how things are going. I don't want to do the extra. I want to be a little different. I'm going to motivate you, but you're already getting. But if you're not, then I'm gonna amp it up a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
But you got to find out, and I love parents. I know there's a lot. Unfortunately, there's some teachers and coaches that might not. I love parents. I love interacting with parents. We want the same thing for your kid.
Right.
I want your kid to be the best they can be. You want your kid to be the best they can be academically, you know, athletically. I'm all there for
Right.
it. Let's talk about academic plan. Let's talk about getting your kid on the right track. If you need help with discipline, if you need help, what's going on at home. If you're disrespecting your mom,
Right.
you can't play for me.
Right. So that's what I was going to ask you. Right there was, when you talk to parents, does it give you a feel of how to approach the kid?
Absolutely.
Depending on what they're saying, you know?
Absolutely. Like I said, I love interacting with parents. So sometimes, especially with freshman parents might not know me that well yet, learning. But by the time junior year, senior year rolls around, or sophomore, oh yeah. Yeah. I love the rapport. I have kids myself. I treat, you know, you see me around my kids. I don't know if you have or not, but I've seen kids that bring my kids around. I'm not a jerk all the time, as you guys like to call me or whatever. I don't really. That doesn't bother me, by the way.
Nah, I don't call you a jerk, man.
My grandfather was a master sergeant, so, you know, even though I didn't meet him, my mother was definitely his daughter. Let's put it that way. So, but she loved me. It is what it is, and I needed it. And, you know, my mom was hard on me, and I needed every second of it. But I treat you guys like I treat my own kids, and I want that relationship to continue to flourish. I'm not joking. I tell kids, man, I want to dance at your wedding. You know, I want to be there when in those moments if you need me. This isn't just for the moment. I'm not here just to coach you for the moment. I'm definitely here for the bond. You know, I want to see you be successful in life, not just in high school. Right. So I've always embraced that. That's always been a really big thing for me, and I enjoy these relationships. And it's tough when you don't make that connection with kids that you know that you could probably help a little bit more. That's the hardest part about coaching. That's the hardest part about teaching, is that you wish you could do more, but you don't go home with them and you don't make their choices. Right. That's the hard part. So For you, you had a great situation in my mind because you were, there's times where I knew I could push you, but we've cried together. I've hugged you, and there've been some tough moments.
Yeah.
You're having some bad days or bad moments, and I knew those days that you just need to get loved on. And there's some weird days like that.
Yeah.
You don't know that they come. I show up to practice, and I just look at your face, and I'm like, oh, today's not the day. And it's not nothing to do with track, probably nothing to do with school. You're going through something.
Yeah.
And I take personal. I want to know what those things are, and if you don't want to tell me, that's fine. But acknowledge that I do know you're going through a tough time. So,
Right.
And then the following day, I'm like, hey, what's going on yesterday?
Yeah.
So I feel, the coaching part will come with it. Yeah, I want to win, but the relationships, man, they last a lifetime. Those are the important things. And I have mentors like that. Kevin Swartwood has never done me wrong. Always gave me great advice and always took personal account of my life. And I'm a 40-something-year-old man, and he's whatever, but that's my guy.
Yeah.
Forever. Like, I'm always going to go to bat for him. And, I have certain mentors in my life like him. And I acknowledge that a lot of people don't.
Right.
A lot of people don't. So it's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
That's good. I think that's the biggest thing is, like you said, to enjoy,
I love my job. If you go to your job and you hate your job, bro. And there's some teaching jobs I really didn't care for, and it was hard. Like, I love the sports aspect of it and the kids, but, man, if you don't like or love or feel the purpose of what you're doing, dude, getting up in the morning is a whole different meaning.
Yeah.
You're popping up, man, I can't wait for today. I got a great day going on. And then you're like, oh, man. I've had those mornings.
Yeah.
I got to go to work today. And
Like,
that's okay
normal, though.
And it's okay
Yeah.
when you're young and you maybe at a job that you maybe don't see yourself doing in the future. But as an adult, like in your 30s and 40s and whatever,
Yeah.
that's you don't want to do that.
Right.
I remember being young and having jobs I hated, but it wasn't going to be forever.
Right.
It's just for now.
Yeah.
Not forever. It's not going to do forever. I can imagine being miserable at my job. I got to do forever.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
Right.
So, let me give one more shout out to one more mentor of mine, Keith Hunter, Golden Valley basketball coach. Another one, solid cat for me. I know he's always giving me really good advice, and it's tough when you get older. What advice are you going to listen to? Everybody's got something to say. Does it work?
You kind of look back to the same ones.
Yeah.
For like advice that you'll like actually kind of listen to.
He's giving me some good advice. What you do's and what not to do, what to do. You want to talk to guys that have actually been there, made some mistakes.
Right.
Wish they could do some things differently. Here's what I would have done, and that's basically what it is. What would you have done?
Right.
I do have a question for you though.
Oh God.
You ready for another one?
Bro, I get nervous when you.
What could we have done better? Do you think, or different? Do you think anything? Me, any of the coaches, as far as when you were in high school, because your dad had plenty to say about about that kind of stuff and how folks are kind of treated. Because I'm all about getting better, and maybe you could slide some sage advice my way where I help me improve.
Man, I think it has gotten better already, but I really feel like,
Put your kid in the kid's shoes. Put yourself in the kid's shoes. And
I really feel like at the time, there could have been more talent that maybe could have got out. I remember I had to go get a form from our counselor, and I was like, I need this form, and he's like, what is that? Didn't even know.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like the lack of, I guess it's not really that common.
The great thing I love about Atwater High School and our counseling department is they really lean on me or ask me a lot about NC2A stuff.
Okay. So that's good because I feel like at the time when it comes to college and when it came to the clearinghouse,
we have great counselors and we have great people around the district that help with scholarship stuff. But my job is to make sure as a coach, in my opinion, is make sure you're NC2A compliant.
Okay.
I feel that way. Maybe not everybody does, but
you were one of the first ones who told me about all that shit.
Yeah.
I really think I could have done everything the same.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't there I don't know who would have told me to do that. I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have gone to the school I went to.
People think it's common knowledge for a lot of it, but making sure you're in the right classes, making sure you're taking the right classes, you're on the right course, and doing those things. It's you could end up missing by being short by a couple of credits and being you do have a lot of as a coach. I'm not gonna say power is the word, but influence or ability to give you the right information or the wrong information.
Right.
So I when I was at Merced High and when I was coaching there, I went up to talk to a man named Alonzo Carter, he was the head coach at Berkeley, was the head coach at McClymonds. Now he's the running back coach at San Jose State.
Okay.
And he was getting all these cats out, man. He was getting all these guys that were from not very affluent neighborhoods, in Oakland and places like that. And everybody says that kids in those type of neighborhoods aren't academically inclined. And this guy's getting these guys out. So, man, if it's an opportunity to get better,
right,
sign me up.
Right.
So me and my buddy Jake Messina, shout out to Jake Messina, who was coaching at Carmont. We used to coach at Merced together. Went up there, sat down with him, and he laid out the plan, man, master plan. Classes, and this guy had it down to a science. Was getting guys out.
Right.
And I really, even to this day, appreciate his time for that. And I learned just a ton about classes and NC2A, compliant 48H, SATs, sliding scale, how to present a kid, film. And he's still doing it. I mean, he's a D1 coach right now. So that guy was a mentor for me in that regard, and it's been a big deal.
Because you know what? There's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of talent here. Unfortunately, it feels like it. I mean, I feel like you got to push them a lot harder.
I think kids got to be really kind of honest with themselves. Like,
yeah,
are you going to take that extra time to get better? Like that time I called you in class, in your physics class, and you weren't doing too well in physics. And,
this dude.
And but I'm just saying, your dad was on board with me.
Did you call them first before you did that?
No.
Oh.
No.
This
I didn't
dude.
know about your dad.
So you lied to me.
Absolutely.
This dude calls me. I'm in physics class. I'm in like third period, chilling. Had a sub, so I'm not listening. The phone rings. The school, like the phone in the classroom rings, and the sub answers it, and he goes, "Dallas," and I look, and he's like, "It's for you." I was like, I get up. I'm like, "Hello." I don't know who it is. I just like, hello. And I really thought it was my dad. I was like, so I answered the phone. And I was like, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He just starts cursing me out. And I'm sitting there and everyone's behind me. Like I remember I like turned around and the whole class was looking at me, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, yeah. No, I didn't know that. Okay. You already told my parents? All right. And
oh, no, I did. No, I didn't lie. I called him first. Then I called you.
Okay, so you did.
No, I did. No, it just depends on which time.
Well, I feel like that time. Well, because no, you didn't give me a chance to talk, and you go, and don't worry, I already told your parents.
Yeah.
So we're
when
good there.
You get home, yeah.
When you get home, this will be a continued conversation. I was like,
okay, yeah, that was me.
That was early. I was like third period, so it's still the morning. I'm literally just ruined my whole day.
I love you though.
And I think I started crying at practice that day.
Possibility, maybe. It's gonna be rough at home. You shouldn't be failing physics, bro.
Dude, physics was stupid.
Yeah, it was a hard class. But you needed that third year of science. That's all I was thinking was NC2A. Like, you cannot.
See, but that's the shit that you think about.
You cannot fail this class, bro. It's your third year of math. We can't.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want you as a senior to depend on, I'm not going anywhere because I don't have my third year science.
I'm glad,
science, not math.
But I'm glad, though, because my senior year, I was chilling.
You were chilling. That was the plan. I was like, dude, we grind it out now. And then when you were senior.
Dude, literally just focus on sports my senior year.
That's it. English and history and sports.
English, history, sports, yeah.
That's it. Everything else was gravy. And that was the plan. I had a plan. See, that's the thing. My plan isn't a short plan. So when kids come in as freshmen and sophomore and they have ability, I tell them, I'm advocating for the 17, 18-year-old version of you. Like, where you want to be when you get there.
I didn't even go on my senior trip. Because I had a meet that day.
But you came home with a medal. Or is it Magic
exactly.
Mountain now?
It was. I think they went to Magic Mountain.
I did grad night.
I didn't go to grad night.
It was all right. I did it. I mean, but I've had more fun going to Disneyland other times than grad night.
Yeah, man. I was trying to win a medal, man. Actually, you know what? I wanted to go, but you're like, you're not going. I was like,
I didn't say that.
I
didn't
say that.
No.
You told me
I was gonna get you on the podium, is what I said.
Yeah. Could you get in trouble for this or something for telling me I can't go to grad night?
I didn't tell you didn't go.
You basically did.
Basically is not saying you can't go. You could have gone to grad night.
Nah, dude, I couldn't. I wouldn't have done good that day.
I would have.
I had a meet that day.
I know, but you could have gone. I'm not, dude. It's your senior year.
Wanted
It's your
to
high
win.
school experience. I'm never gonna. I might disagree with some of your decisions, but it's your experience. I can't. It's not mine. We could be sitting.
I guess I already knew the right answer.
We could sit here and talk about how great grad night was and how great you could have been, how you could have won a medal.
See, that was my.
and
I had nightmares about.
I might have said that.
I had nightmares. See, don't mom and pop me, dude.
I might have said that.
That's basically, yeah. You better not go because
it's
not gonna be good for you.
Better not go.
But it's just not gonna be good. It wasn't. It wouldn't have been good.
Well, as a competitor, like any kid that I
good.
try to push to play, like there's kids on the team and over the years, and I've told them this. I said, you know, Coach, I don't want to play anymore. And the kids that are competitors that I know aren't done, that have that look in their eye and that still have something in the tank, I'll tell them, you need to keep playing. You're gonna regret not playing. You need to keep doing something, because if you don't try, and maybe you try and fail, maybe whatever, but if you don't try to compete and keep going, you can't get it back.
Because even if you try and fail, it gives you that closure, immediate
like
closure.
I'm done. Like that's it. I'm good. And I've had plenty of guys come back. Coach, you were right. Will you work with me? They don't come back after the first workout, first session, because your body, dude, after a year, there's no way.
No, there's no way.
There's no way. You go. I remember I used to watch you go out there jog once in a while after you came back home, work out a little bit. How long did that last?
Not very long. Hell, because I don't have no one lighting a fire in my hands. Like, I don't have to be here.
That's what I'm saying. Kids don't realize. You might have.
And there's nothing I'm doing it for.
Grinded on me and gave me the business and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like, why am I here? No one's there to.
Yeah.
I'm not getting pumped up. No one's trying to, get you
I'm
going. It's
just in pain right now.
You're just in pain.
I'm just in pain. I could just be on the couch, watching TV, eating a pizza.
That's what I mean. That's the hard part.
That is hard though.
That's why I'm really psyched about the 22nd. And I know a lot of my athletes aren't gonna be.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask you. Have you been giving them home workouts?
I have.
But
it's on the merit system. I got no.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
So
they're filling them in.
You're gonna see who's been doing
me.
it, who's been not. Yeah, I know.
You know me. I'm gonna find. We're gonna find out.
How much? You think? What percentage you think actually has been doing it?
You want me to tell the truth? Or you want me to lie?
I want you to tell the dead ass truth. 10%.
25.
25%. Probably
Maybe
been
15.
Probably been honest.
Well, because when I look at the workouts, here's the funny part, and I have a conditioning in all my workouts, and then I have time. So those kids are supposed to put the time for.
Oh
each
man, you
gasser,
got it down, dude.
Time for each strider or gasser, and how long it takes you to finish the entire workout. Man, you should see some of those times on there.
They're nice.
Oh, I have the fastest kids in the freaking state.
You know what you should do?
So I know I'm not saying they're lying.
Okay, well, you know what you should do?
I'm not saying they're. I know what you're gonna say. You should look at it and time them, see if they really run that time.
No, yeah, like that first day.
I know what you're thinking.
Bust that workout out.
I know.
Bro, you're ready. Look at you. See what I'm talking about? Hey, whoever's lying, you guys got it in for you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I'm just saying we're gonna find out. I don't call kids liars. I'm not big on that.
Dude, stop playing even keel right now.
I'm just gonna let you.
I already know what's gonna happen.
Whoa.
You're gonna be like,
yeah.
That's funny.
Yes.
What happened?
And
they'll tell you themselves.
Yeah, right there. They're gonna tell me the truth. Coach, I haven't been doing anything.
That shit made me nervous. I'm not even looking forward to June 22nd. I'm gonna text you June 23rd. How'd it go?
Well, for me, it went great. I'm just excited to get back and compete. And I know a lot of our guys, and they're used to it. Our off season's pretty rigorous. We get after it. Weight room and condition, and I think kids enjoy the process of getting better, and that's been a big thing. is I have a lot of kids that want to play football because they enjoy the process.
Yeah.
The process is fun. We have a good time together in the weight room and joking around and getting after it and being fired up, and a place where, you know, all day you're kind of calm and then you get to kind of release.
Right.
And that's how kind of our off season is. And then it went away. So,
Yeah,
and even for me, it was tough. For 2 or 3 weeks, bro, I'm telling you, I was struggling. I'm still don't know what day it is. I'm such a creature of habit.
Yeah.
So when you hit me up Friday and I'm like, bro, it's Tuesday, right? Remember what I text you? What day is it?
Yeah, I think I texted you yesterday.
I was like, what day is it?
I was like, you want to come on the podcast tomorrow? You're like, yeah, what's tomorrow? I'm like,
tomorrow?
Friday, dude.
Yeah. I'm telling you. I'm such a creature of habit.
Yeah.
I'm just used to doing things. On Monday, I do this. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you know.
Yeah.
Now, every day is Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, so it was tough. So I'm excited. I'm hoping that we keep it going. I think kids, the physical part and mental health, you know, connected to running and doing things is really healthy for that. And staying home and not being active and being sedentary is just not, you know, mentally healthy or physically healthy. So I'm excited.
That's good, man. I'm really glad we got to talk about, you know, what you're doing. Talk a little bit about us from the past and, you know, our journey together.
Shenanigans.
I do want to transition for a little bit over to kind of things that are going on right now.
Yeah. Heavy.
And I wanted to ask you, you know, really just your experiences, you know, because what are you, 60? How old are you?
Minus a couple.
You in your 40s? Yeah, so
I'm
you know,
go 40s.
yeah. So I mean, so you've been, you know, in different eras and stuff, and you know, you've been up and down the state. And I just wanted to ask you, you know, kind of what's your experience has been like? Is it kind of match with what's kind of going on?
You know, being biracial, being half Mexican and you know, and half black, I've experienced, you know, quite a bit. You know, I want to say people are nice, but not everybody's nice. You know? Yeah. I wasn't raised in a home that was talked about black or white or Mexican, whatever else. You know, my mom married a Mexican man. My other aunt, I got Polynesians in my family. I got, you know, people that my aunt married a white guy. In my family, we're all mixed up. I never saw color. That's just uncle or aunt,
right,
or whatever. Growing up, society tells you different, you know, in my experience. So hearing certain things growing up, you know, I've been quite a few fights growing up as a kid. That's why, you know, if you've ever played for me, if you hear the N-word at practice, it's a little different. I know it's been changed as an empowerment thing, you know, changing the word and the enunciation and how it's pronounced. But for me, it was red flags when I was a kid.
Right.
You know, it was the first thing to kind of get me going. And once I realized what the word meant, because I'm from a military family. So my grandfather was a master sergeant. My grandmother was in the military, in a segregated unit down in you know, in the military during the Korean War. So they desegregated her unit. They destroyed her barracks. And then they all kind of came together. She really never had a lot of problems, but she did grow up in Mississippi.
Right.
My grandfather was from the New York area. So
okay.
Growing up, being military, we spoke a certain way. We acted a certain way. Education was number one because our ancestors weren't able to read and write and whatnot. So I always took education extremely seriously, that a way to advance myself. So I never was around a lot of racism until I went to school. School's rough.
Yeah.
You know?
Like high school or younger?
Grade school.
First grade?
Second grade. Yeah. Third grade. From the minute I stepped on a campus, like a bigger campus. So kindergarten was kind of, you know, its own little entity. And then once I got to first grade, I was on the same playground with third, fourth, fifth graders.
Okay.
And that's when some of that stuff started up.
Hearing some shit.
Hearing some stuff and going home, and probably one of the most saddening and repulsive things is that I repeated them to my mom and said, "Mom, what does this mean?" And her having to explain it to me. And that was powerful.
Yeah.
That was like watching her get tears in her eyes and get sad that her son that she sent to school was hearing, just for being different.
Right.
So, and then I dealt with it all through junior high, through grade school. I'm not saying everybody's, bad, but, there's some kids and some adults even, that it can be kind of rough.
Yeah.
So they teach you. I started to learn that what people looked at me, and how they viewed me as a human being. It wasn't Mexican, even though I grew up, just as Mexican as I feel as anybody else, because I spent a ton of time with my dad's family.
Right.
I mean, I never knew anything different.
Yeah.
I felt like I was one of everybody else in my heart and soul. But when people looked at me, it's not what they saw. Even my last name, Ibarra, there's zero connection.
Right.
I have to convince people, like, no, let me show you a picture of my dad and my mom.
Right.
Like, what?
Because that's a Spanish last name.
Yeah, big time. But they're not making that connection. So, but I grew up half and half, literally 50% with my mom, 50% with my dad. I feel very inclined to both communities, and so forth. But even speaking the way I speak, I got teased by some guys in the black community,
right,
not being either black enough or the way you speak, not using the words correctly. Because, like I said, I'm military background. You don't, yes sir, no sir. I know sir and ma'am.
Right.
I'm right here. I wasn't. Those words weren't allowed in my grandmother's home. So I took a little heat for that. It was a little bit more of a ribbing. It wasn't like a detriment. Like I made me feel bad about myself. It was like,
right.
Man, where you come from?
Yeah.
Like why do you speak like that? And I'm like, speak like what? What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. That kind of thing. And when I moved up here in the 90s, it was a big transition. Big transition. So, it was and then I turned into a teenager driving around this area, and that was hard too. I think I got pulled over the first 2 weeks I had my license. Do-rag on, a pair of glasses, driving a Datsun station wagon, and I got pulled over for driving fast. That thing, it shook when it was at 55 miles an hour. So I was not driving fast, but it was a reason to pull me over in the wrong neighborhood or where I was in. And I experienced that all through my teenage years. And I always had to make sure I knew where my registration was. I always had to make sure where my license, everything was, my insurance. And you said,
I was like, man, I don't even know where that shit's at. My tags on my license plate still has 2018 on it.
My tags had to be on point. Everything had to be on point. And that's just my experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I got pulled over, I wasn't going to be reaching for my glove compartment.
Right.
My mom taught me, that I to be respectful and to comply, but I shouldn't be reaching and leaning. And this is the 90s now. And, Rodney King and,
yeah,
things were real deep. And,
see, that's it's crazy that your mom had to tell you all that, because my mom's never told me any of that.
Yeah.
My mom's never told me don't wear my hood out when I'm out and about and shit like that,
My mom had to lay it down.
Yeah.
She said, comply. I love you. You're my son, and I want you to live. Yeah. And that was our talk. I was 15.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I got it soon.
Right.
And I didn't want to believe that people were like that in the world, but my experience told me so.
Right.
And I love everybody. I don't, like I said, you and I
know.
I love you. I love everybody. I just wasn't raised that way. I wasn't, that wasn't part of my DNA. Society and my experiences, Corvallis, Oregon, same thing. And I never got roughed up or anything, but I've had a lot of stop. I've ran, amazing how many stop signs I've ran with 0 tickets. I never got a ticket. It was just a reason to check my ID and, make sure I was who I was. One police officer told me, "That's not you." I said, "Bro, this is me." And then he was real rude. I promise you that's me. I don't live in this area, whatever. Goes back to his vehicle, comes back. Also, I'm sorry. But I could have been belligerent. I could have been like, no, F this, and what's your badge number? And
yeah,
I've never been that way. I could have been. He was wrong. and the funny part is the stop sign stuff that I've been pulled over. It's always at the stop where the cop is. So he was on my left, and I pull up. I waited for him, and then he didn't go. He waved me, and when I pulled and drove, he looked at me and then pulled me over.
And said you ran the stop sign?
Yes.
You're like, bro, you waved me.
That was one of the last, I was in mid-20s, I think. But as I got older and the gray hair starts kicking in and I look a little heavier and I'm driving a nicer car or whatever else, and I haven't been pulled over in a long, but in my 20s, I think the last time I got pulled over, I was in my 30s and I ran a stop sign. And, you know, I knew the drill, that kind of thing.
But see, you shouldn't have to know the drill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't have to. That shouldn't be a part of your.
It's part of my experience. It's part of my life. Yeah. Even today, my truck, I know exactly where everything is.
Yeah, I still like it's in there.
I know where everything is,
It's in the
and I know a lot of police officers in town. They're good. A lot of them are former players or SROs. I mean, they're good guys. There's some good guys, but you don't have. And I'm hoping, I'm pushing them, and I want to do more things with the community, with our police here in Atwater or whatever. Is I grew up in the DARE program down in Southern California. So extremely powerful program for me about drugs. And it wasn't just about the drugs. It was me getting to know the officer that was teaching the class. So I had a relationship with that guy.
So it's a more personal experience.
It's a more personal experience. So every time I saw Officer Macbeth in the community, I'd wave. I'd say hi. I'd shake his hand.
And you don't get that hardly ever nowadays.
And I knew that guy cared about me. I knew that guy knew me as an individual personally and spent time with me in my classroom. And it was powerful for me. I was not afraid of the police. That's why I didn't get the being pulled over and the stop sign stuff. I didn't register up here in this area, and in Corvallis and Oregon, whatever. It didn't register to me because, as far as I know, my favorite teacher in the world, he was a police officer, sixth grade teacher, or I think he's a correctional officer, recently retired. So I grew up,
right.
He was the most influential teacher in my life. To this day, I love that man, former officer.
Right.
So, it's my experience. It's what have I experienced in my life? But, every time I saw Officer Macbeth or I saw Mr. Lopez, and those are my friends. Those are guys that I was connected to.
Right.
And even in the worst times, if I was I'd still look at Officer Macbeth and go, I know this guy's going to make sure I'm okay.
Right.
He knows me as a person. And I think that's got lost. That respect for law enforcement and the law enforcement being connected, I feel like, into the community a little bit more.
There's a huge separation.
Huge. Like, I hate hearing kids say negative things about police officers when, that's not what their job is. You're going to call 911 if you need help.
Yeah.
You're going to dial those numbers.
Yeah.
And you're going to expect them to be there.
Right.
And to help you.
But it would definitely help if they were more involved in a part of the community, and you had that connection where the cop pulled up next to you, instead of like you're just like not gonna look at him. Yeah, you can look and be like, hey, what's up, man?
What's up,
and
Steve?
Just kind of be, because he's a human being, and so are you.
Absolutely.
And that's how it should be. But when you have cops who always seem like they're on guard, or they're looking for shit, and you're just like, dude.
Yeah.
Because I shouldn't be nervous when a cop's right on me, but
I don't think anybody should be.
Yeah.
They're here to.
They're supposed to be here to protect
and serve.
Not go out of their way to
just to mess
harm
with you.
People.
And just like any profession, and I know I've been teaching a long time. There's some teachers that have a hard time with kids in the classroom. Like, it's not their thing.
Yeah.
The relationships with some of the teachers that were just like, dude, why are you here?
Like, why are you even a teacher?
Yeah, you hate my. I feel like you
hate this job, dude.
And there's some teachers that shouldn't be teaching, and there's some police officers that shouldn't be police officers. I mean, it's just if you do see that person and think that they're automatically something's wrong based on what they look like, or same thing in a classroom. If you're judging a kid that's coming in that's wearing his hoodie, or you don't know anything about that kid. You don't know what his lifestyle's like. You don't know what he's dealing with at home. You don't, or her. You just don't know. You can't judge a kid.
Right.
And those are the kids I want to try to make even more relationships with. Like, I have very few discipline problems in my classes because I really feel like I'm really trying to make those relationships with kids, because they don't care, what you're trying to teach them if they feel like you hate their guts. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And the same thing. There's some police officers out there that probably shouldn't be, being out there doing their job. They probably need to find a different job.
Yeah.
There's teachers that need to find different professions. There's truck drivers. There's firefighters. There's people that if you're not good at your job, then maybe you can find some
jobs like that, like being a teacher, being a police officer. If you're doing it for selfish reasons, I just feel like
well, they're high stress jobs, man. I'm not signing up to go to the police academy today.
Right.
I mean, you have to be superior trained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're dealing with that one fight or flight moment. Like if I saw a dog and that was chasing me down the street, dude.
Barrett hates dogs.
And you got are you mentally prepared in that moment to make the smartest decision while your adrenaline's just jacked?
Right.
And you're
and I feel like a lot of
and your fear and you got all those emotions going through you. Are you always going to make the right decision?
No, you're not. And I think that's what's
that's
a lot of that times that's what happens. It's you put these officers in foreign areas, foreign neighborhoods. Yeah. They feel like they're always on guard. But if you had officers who were, part of the community or got more involved with the community and you've seen familiar faces,
people
or things like that, it wouldn't be.
I love seeing our old SROs.
Yeah.
I saw, I think he's sergeant now or Officer Nowitzki last week or so, and it was great to see him. Officer Martin, but I know them. They're good people. So it's you're right. It's completely, different when you have, that relationship. The same thing with teaching. I grinded on you, but I loved you at the same time. You I care about you. So that's it. I know you might not like my message, or how I'm getting across, but our relationship is always gonna be.
Cause I got it here too, like you said, I got it at home.
Yeah,
so I was already used to it. It's already kind of branded in me. Like, if something happens, I'm gonna get chewed out. I'm gonna get yelled at.
Someone's gonna hold me accountable.
Yeah, I'm always gonna be held accountable.
Accountability is big, and some kids don't like that.
Yeah,
they don't like that accountability. If you're honest with me, even if it's a bad thing, dude, I'm gonna respect you a million times more. Just say you just came out and were like, yeah, this isn't for me, or yeah, I messed up, I made a mistake. All right, dap it up, let's get better.
Yeah,
you're learning. That's how you grow as a man. You admit your mistakes, you move on from them. You want to get better. And that's a huge deal. But accountability is the tough part with young kids because they want to be right all the time.
Yeah.
They want to know everything.
Right.
I'd love to go back to be 16, but take my 40-something-year-old brain with me. I don't actually want to be like a 16-year-old.
Exactly.
I don't actually want to be 16.
Right.
I'd like to have a 16-year-old body with a 40-something-year-old
what you
brain.
know now,
I'm dominating, man.
Dude.
And that's the cool thing about life is that you don't get to take it with you.
Right.
It's you got to experience it. You got to move on, experience it, your mistakes and then the things that you did well. And then you got to find a way to kind of figure your own thing out as you go along in life. Yeah. That's the hardest part, man.
Well, so what do you think is the best way to, I guess every kid's different, but because I've heard this. I know my dad's told me he heard it, and you say you heard it and you try to tell us. It's just like, it always seems like just an ongoing battle between, mentors trying to guide kids in the right direction. Mm-hmm. And it's just, they're going to have to figure it out for themselves at the end of the day anyway. But
I think it's hard to be consistent because every kid's different. What motivates you might not motivate somebody else. Yeah. Some kids might be already motivated, maybe a little bit too much, maybe too hard on themselves. How do you realize that kid telling me you're going to make mistakes? It's going to happen. And those are the kids that overdo it. So everybody's different. I know, like the way you guys talk about us and the way I talked about my coaches. I've spoken to some of my coaches and they cringe like, oh, because I'm not the same person I was when I coached you. I might coach you differently now.
Right.
Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. We're not those people all the time back then. You know what I mean? Some of us were in our 20s. Carter Todd, shout out to Carter Todd, who's a nurse in Sacramento, one of my favorite guys to ever coach. We met up unfortunately at one of our old players' funerals, and he's my age when I started coaching him. I think he was 27, and he's 27. He's talking to me as a 27-year-old, and he's like, now I know why you were the way you were, why you ran with us, raced with us, were all over the place, running drills and teaching us stuff. And he's like, I get it, because I'm 20 something. I feel like I could still move. I feel like still got the juice. And I'm like, yeah. So it's not until you get into that time,
Right.
you realize, oh, you were at the time same age I was when I was. Dang, okay. Like,
makes more sense.
Yeah. Now you can connect, but you're not there yet.
Right.
You don't know. So how I coach now versus how I coached. I mean, how old are you now?
25.
Yeah, 16. I had you 9 years ago.
Yeah.
I was in my 30s.
Damn, man.
I had a couple of kids. They're real young.
Yeah.
I got a teenager now. He's gonna be in high school.
I feel like you're way more high strung, man. I feel like you're.
Well, I'm not in a competitive environment. See, what kids need to realize is that practice.
I've seen you at practice, though.
I'm saying practice is our time to compete. I can't compete on Fridays. I compete Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
That's my time to compete. Practice is my time. Practice is my time to compete. I'm done. On Friday night, I get to watch.
Right.
I get to watch. I get to watch you run. I get to, that's my work is during the week, and so that's my time to compete. And if you're going to mess with my time to compete and get after it, then yeah, I might have problems with you. I think kids forget that. Like, that's our time. I'm all done. I played a couple years of college JC ball, and I played in high school, and it's never going to matter as much as it did back then. But here's my opportunity to compete is during the week and get after it and have fun. And some of you guys that hate practice have a hard time with a guy like me. Oh, man, why I gotta be, man? Oh, man, it's blood in the water. I'm ready. What do you mean you don't want to be here? What do you mean you don't want to be?
Bro, because it's 110 on the turf.
What do you mean
that's
you don't
why.
want to? Come on, I'm melting just like you. Then I hear this, well, get on the line, coach. Why don't you run? Why don't you do that? And I'm like, man, I did my time.
Yeah.
I did my time, and but in my 20s, I did get on the line. I did run with the kids. And that ain't happening. Body doesn't respond.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I went full speed.
Are you afraid to go full speed?
Man, my hamstrings quiver every time I try.
Man.
Just a little quivering, the knees,
Yeah.
You can't. But it's so as you age, and here's my other favorite part: the minute you start coaching. Some of my players come back from that powder puff game just stressed out. Coach, they don't listen. Coach, I keep trying to tell them. Coach, they keep going the other way, and I'm like, well, welcome.
Damn.
Enjoy.
New journey for you.
New journey for you, right? You'll be able to coach,
Yeah.
You're trying to.
Because that's a whole different animal.
Yeah, you're trying to. It's not that it's just girls. I'm just saying you're trying to teach the game.
Yeah.
You're trying to get. You're trying to teach the game. You're trying to teach somebody else the game. And
No, it is hard. It's hard to try to explain something that makes so much sense to you.
To you, but now you have to.
Because it's almost like, dude, how do you not get it? But they're looking at you like they're speaking a different language.
Exactly.
So that's a talent in itself to dumb it down in a sense for it to make sense to someone who just started just learning to watch or play the game.
That's another hard part.
Yeah. That's a whole different talent. It has nothing to do with how good you were.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. Just being a good player does not mean you're going to be a good coach.
No. How can you get that information? And that's why a lot of guys, there's Steve Kerr and there's Michael Jordan. Steve Kerr's multiple-time champion. Kind of not if you make it in the NBA, you're not a scrub. I don't care.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. I don't care if you spend a year in the NBA, 2 years in the NBA, 2 years in the NFL, 3 years in the NFL.
You did that.
Bro, you did that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if it's for a short amount of time or a long amount of time. But, Steve Kerr wasn't Michael Jordan. He's had the same amount of rings, but now, look, great coach. Phil Jackson, okay player. Great, great
legendary
coach. Legendary coach. Mike Krzyzewski.
Mike
I don't even know what
Krzyzewski.
even kind of player he was.
He's like a god in college basketball.
Dude, it's all about, how do you get that information out? How do you teach kids? How do you get kids to play together? How do you get them to care about each other?
Man, that would be an amazing conversation to have with him.
Some of those things that you read, some of their philosophies. One thing that really helped me football-wise, I read Pete Carroll's book.
Really?
Huge, man. Just
he was one of the very few successful college coaches that went to the NFL and was successful.
And did it because of his philosophy.
Right.
And he never wavered from it. And it's just about he made me put stuff down. Like I had ideas and I had things that I wanted to do if I ever had my program or if I just in my group as a defensive back coach or as as a defensive coordinator, he made me write it down. What is your philosophy?
Right.
What do you believe in? What are your core values? And I had ideas, but I never wrote it down.
Right.
So reading that book was big for me because they made me write it down.
Yeah.
And writing it, whether you believe it or not, writing it down, it's a big deal because it's there. It's right. You look at it. That's what I believe in. That's what I'm about. And some of those like philosophy books like that get people to think. John Gordon books. I love those kind of books. Just Energy Bus and Coach Hunter kind of put me on those. It's not the X's and O's at a certain point. You know your stuff.
Yeah.
How do you get that stuff relayed across to someone else?
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Man, you weren't playing when you said you love knowledge, man. You love learning.
Yeah, I love to learn.
Yeah.
I love, that somebody says adapt or die. You gotta. There's always ways to get better. There's always ways to learn. I'm not somebody that's gonna sit and just be complacent. And that's from fatherhood, husband, cousin, brother,
Yeah.
coach, teacher. I could always get better. It's like a thirst, like a fire in my belly to always try to improve, not be complacent. And that's why COVID's been real tough.
Yeah.
It's made me stationary.
Yeah. It's
I've read a lot of books, but I read a lot, but it's still, you can't put
You haven't been able to apply it.
Yeah,
yet.
you can't apply any
Right,
of it.
yeah.
You can't put it in an application process to see if it works. Because I guinea pigged you, whether you realize it or not.
No, you told me that.
Yeah,
And I appreciate that, and I'm glad that I was someone who could kind of set the tone a little bit for
absolutely.
just for the future.
I tried a lot of stuff out on you. A lot of it was psychological, whether you realized it or not.
Dude, I just was like,
and a
here
lot
I
of it
am,
was-
man. What are we doing today? Let's just do it.
If the physical
know?
part is, dude, what sets you apart? What sets NFL guys apart? It's work ethic. What sets NBA guys apart? It's their mentality.
Yeah.
And, they don't call it Mamba mentality for nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, not everybody has that mentality. Like, to just give me what you got. You're
Yeah.
going to get what I got. I just feel like you should be able to match that if you're here to get better.
Right.
If you're not, there's a lot of kids. I love the videos. There's kids doing backpedaling and drills and, and they're doing all these things. And then you get them at practice and you're like, hey, man, go jog and give me that football. And they walk.
Yeah.
Just
Just little things like that.
little
You
things
see.
like that. Like, yeah, that's great. You're showing everybody that you're busting it. You're working hard. But, when you get through the hole, are you finishing off your run? Are you sprinting that extra 5-10 yards and then sprinting back? Or you just stop and then walk back? Dude, that's life stuff, man. That's stuff that takes you, are you gonna make 100 or are you gonna shoot 100?
Yeah.
Are you which one are you? You just gonna get 100 shots up? Or are you gonna make 100 shots?
Yeah. That's real.
I mean, that's where.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
That's a different philosophy. It's a different part of your psyche it's different. There's different kids.
Yeah.
There's kids that are just wired to shoot 100. I'm gonna make 100, or I'm gonna shoot 100. I'm gonna run these. I'm gonna run a mile, but I'm gonna run a mile at 7-minute pace, 6-minute pace, or I'm just gonna run a mile.
Yeah.
So it's different. The sports psychology is that big thing. Just psychology in general. How are you gonna go about your life?
Yeah, it applies to everything.
Everything. Like I said, home. How clean is your room? It's the little things, man.
That does make sense because I do find myself thinking that way, not really understanding why, I guess, or where I got that from. But
yeah,
sports, man.
It's sports, and I feel like it's a great unifier. I've hugged people at bowl games that we would never probably walk down the street together. I
Right.
follow Oregon State or the Lakers win. You're in a bar or somewhere and you're celebrating and you're having a great time, and you look over at the guy that you're having a good time with, and you're like.
It creates that solidarity.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it really,
does.
we're talking about baseball or talking about sports, or it's a big part of this country in general. It's a big part of the world, It brings people together. It can rip people apart. I love those NFL commercials where somebody, you got your Raiders Christmas sweater on, they got their Broncos Christmas sweater, or your Kansas City Chiefs. It's just and it's been taken away from us.
Right. Yeah, it has.
And I'm not a big baseball guy, but if it was on, I'd watch all 9 innings right now.
Dude, see?
I'd watch it all. I would,
Man, I had the
Hockey, put it on. I'm here for it.
Some dude put badminton on.
Badminton.
Let's see
Dude,
him get
they
at
televised horse. The NBA
Jump.
televised a game of horse.
Wow.
Billiards, I don't care right now.
Something.
I want to see somebody compete. I do not care. That's
yeah, man.
That's just where it is. So, and in my home is a competitive home. My wife was an athlete. She played basketball at Atwater High School, and I was a 3-sport guy as well. And my kids, they do everything. And I miss the crazy. Like, we would take this kid to a baseball game. This kid would go to basketball. This kid at softball. My wife and I would be like, oh, okay, we got to split it up. I got to go here. You got to go there. Okay. And I remember complaining about it once or twice.
That's a good problem to have, though.
Bro, I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss the crazy.
Yeah.
I miss watching my kids compete and have fun.
I feel like that my parents did the same thing. 'Cause I just remember always being on the go.
All the time.
And I think about today, like, what am I going to do tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday. And then, man, we always had a baseball game to go to. Always had, like, a football game.
And don't
or
get me
something.
wrong, it's cool to just chill. And
It is.
We do have those moments where we're like, we're just going to take a break.
Yeah.
And we pull a lot of stuff back. And maybe you won't play this year. Or maybe you'll, but those ramped up times, I miss them because we got lots of chill. We've been chilling for months.
That's what I'm saying. And it hasn't been a year, and you're already missing, So.
I miss my guys.
Yeah.
And I miss, my teachers. I love my department. I love my campus. We have great people that I work with, and I miss seeing them every day and saying good morning and just doing the basic things of just being a good human being. Just having fun with your day and your life. I love coming to work. I don't think kids have probably ever seen me in a bad mood, and I enjoy being just there. And it's gone, and I don't know what next year's going to look like. So we're kind of concerned about that, but it's not going to be the same. Who knows how long it's going to be till it is this,
right.
the way things are.
Well, I'm rooting for you, man. I hope, hopefully everything goes back to normal, and I'll come out to some football games. And stuff,
man. I love seeing you, even though we've had some moments since you've been back.
Yeah. Yeah, those are, yeah, I'm cool off that. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I gave you a hard time.
Yeah, it's all good.
I was a little extra on you.
It's all right. I probably was intoxicated. So.
Oh, you're talking all kinds of trash. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got right in my grill. I loved it.
You missed that or what?
Yeah, man. I take this much personal.
Yeah.
I'm not somebody that gets my feelings hurt extremely easy.
Yeah.
And again, I don't treat you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but our relationship has evolved. I don't treat you like you're 16 or 17 or 18.
Most definitely. That's why I think I said, like, man, what, like, I'm just, when I see you, like, I just expect, I don't expect it, but I would, like, just right here all the time. Like, that's where you used to be, like, right here.
I'm not.
Yeah, and it's different now. It's transitioned. It's transitioned.
Yeah,
definitely.
you're a young man. We're friends.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it's and not, some folks can't do that.
Right.
It's amazing how, and some of my mentors have taught me that, like, they treat me differently, treat me like I'm a man, I'm grown. And some folks haven't, like, they're always going to look at me as their player. They're always going to treat me as their player.
Right.
Like, you ran for me, but you're a man.
But at the same token, you'll always be, like, I always say, hey, coach.
All the time.
No matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm coach forever. I've realized that.
Yeah.
And
like, I think your name in my phone is Coach Ibarra. Like, it's not even Seneca. Like, it's Coach Ibarra. Oh, Coach texted me.
That's funny. Yeah, Coach texted me. Yeah. No, that's cool. That's a title I embrace. It's a title that I wear with honor. I understand how impactful a coach can be to a young person's life, male or female. And that was the fun thing about going back to coach track this year, was coaching girls again.
Yeah.
I enjoy coaching both.
Right.
But I've just been coaching boys for the last three years. So going back to track and coaching girls was so much fun.
Yeah.
I miss,
because you get different personalities.
Oh man. Yeah, absolutely. And girls want to work real hard for you. Sometimes more than boys. They get after it, and I missed that part. So having the track season kind of taken away, I was really looking forward and excited about working with a lot of our track kids, especially our girl athletes as well.
Yeah.
So That's the great thing about coaching in multiple sports for a bunch of years is that you get different personalities. And that's the great thing about coaching or teaching freshmen is that I get to watch those kids mature for the next 4 years.
Right.
So I love graduation. Graduation for me is awesome.
Yeah.
I love seeing you guys graduate. I mean, and then I get to coach you as varsity kids as you get older. So I get you as a freshman, as a teacher, and then I get to coach you as a varsity kid.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's phenomenal. Life fulfilling.
Yeah.
So much fun.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. But I appreciate you coming on.
Well, this is more fun than I thought.
Yeah, you said you're nervous coming over here, man. Damn, dude.
Well, I don't always know what I'm going to say. And sometimes, you know, those people that are like to pop off all the time and stuff. Listen, I was the ultimate pop off king when I was young.
Yeah.
I never had a filter.
Right.
And so stuff that flies out of my mouth, literally, I don't sometimes really think about. That's why when you guys come back and tell me you said, I was like, maybe.
Well, because we don't. I mean, we don't mean it like. Well, we might be exaggerating anyway.
A little bit, and maybe you're not. You know, and
sometimes we're not, but it's not even personal. It's not even
heck no, it's not.
But yeah, you probably if you hear, you probably cringe
like,
like, damn.
I said that. Oh boy, you know, and I'm teasing and I'm joking a lot, but for me, like, and anybody that's been in my classroom knows, you know, I tell a lot of. I mean, I'm just. Yeah, I'm quick with it, and sometimes it's not good,
right?
And sometimes it's funny and you know whatnot, but I don't know what I'm gonna say sometimes.
Yeah.
And this has been fun, difficult, easy at the same time, easy going. But there's time, you know, I've had to check tape before I say something.
Absolutely. Plus, you're someone that a lot of people look up to, man.
Oh, I appreciate that. It's hard to, like I said, I'm not great with compliments and whatnot, but
no, seriously, I think a lot of people are gonna tune in. I think a lot of people will want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you, the man you're becoming, you know, and what you're doing. And I wanted to just come on and support you. I don't care what you're doing.
Right.
And that goes for anybody that's ever, you know, played for me, whatnot. We obviously share a special bond. So, if I can help you in any way, support you, and I mean, we could talk about a million other things.
Right. Yeah.
And talk about anything you want. And I said that. You know, you're asking me some. Is it okay to talk about? I can just give you my perspective and my experience.
Right. Which that's all I've wanted to hear.
And that's it. And I am about the community. I am about making this community better and whatever we got to do to get there. And I know it's not easy out there for everybody.
Right.
And I know there's a lot of people suffering, and there's a lot of people doing really well. But I think our job as teachers and educators and mentors is bring up as many young people as we can. And if this is a different platform to do so, then I'm all about it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even expect it to be this. But it kind of turned into that with just a lot of the support that I've gotten, a lot of people who wanted to come on and just have their voice be heard. And, you know, I took that as an opportunity for people, a lot of different people within this community to have their voice be heard, and anyone who wants to listen or learn about whatever it is, that's just great for me, man. That's great for me to hear and listen and be a part of it, and great for other people within the community to be a part of it. And that's why this table and the names mean a lot to me. That's why I have you guys write your name down and everything.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for you. I'm hoping I know you're doing it for the right reasons. It's not.
This has been just purely just authentic, man. I just have no other reason why I'm doing it. I'm just doing it to do it. I get new people every week, you know, reach out to me and just want to come on. And I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. I'd love to come back anytime.
Hell yeah, man.
So maybe I'll bring you a gift like I was going to.
Yeah, man. Raymond's the only one who's brought me a gift so far. I'm not asking, but, you know.
Just put it out there.
That'd be cool, man.
I don't know. I was
throw
going to bring you something,
on.
Yeah. That way it could be in the background next to
Hell
Mia
yeah,
Wallace.
man. Dude, I love Mia Wallace.
I know who that is, yeah. Great movie.
You kind of look like Marcellus.
Bald head, yeah.
Bald head, crazy.
Shout out to Ving Rhames. Yeah. Movie was crazy. Great movie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Great part. Resurrected John Travolta's career.
Think so?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Still dance.
I'm not really that big John Travolta fan. I just love that movie, man.
Well, I grew up in a house full of women, so
They like Grease.
Oh man,
That movie's so
how many
corny,
times I've
bro.
seen Grease and Dirty Dancing, bro? Like
Patrick Swayze.
Oh man, he's the dude though.
I remember I told you.
Dude,
That's
man.
how my brother got his
Yeah,
name, Dalton. That was from
Roadhouse,
Roadhouse.
man. Patrick Swayze's the man. But
Rest
yeah,
in peace.
those two movies were on repeat. I had no choice. I was one of the younger kids, and whatever was on TV was on TV.
It's like whatever. Huh?
Yeah. So,
but yeah, this is the Mulberry podcast. I don't even know what episode this is. It's been a while, but I'm glad to be back. I started a summer school class. I've been doing online, and I have been working 12-hour shifts.
I feel you.
And then, so,
I was at one point. I was getting my credential. I was working nights at my uncle's restaurant. I was subbing during the day, and I was coaching. That was before I got my credential.
Jeez, man.
And
I remember you telling me that.
And trying to hold on to my girlfriend, who became my wife at the time, which
Yeah.
is another job.
Absolutely.
You know, trying to keep, making sure that she knows that she mattered to me, and I was doing it for us, and you don't even think about it. You're 20, whatever. You're just grinding. What's sleep? You know what I mean?
It's a corny saying, but you sleep when you die, man. At that point.
At that age, at where I was, dude.
But I'm that type of person. My mom, my dad's like, you're going to work or go to school. I'm like, I'm going to do both.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
I have all, there's enough time in the day to do it.
I don't know. I look back. Bro, I look back. I don't know how I kept, everything going.
Yeah.
It's
definitely not healthy.
I was working 2 jobs, with the subbing, and then I was subbing, and then going to work at night, and between that I was coaching, and then I do the credential classes in the evening, and then I start, wow, like you got to be on your stuff.
Yeah, you got to time management. You have to be on point.
Bro. And it paid off in spades. I mean, teaching is probably one of the best jobs for, a father. I spend a lot of time with my kids, a lot of weekends, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, all the
Easter
holidays,
break, bro,
summer.
Can't beat it. 3-day weekends. I get
Chilling.
to hang out with my kids.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
Right.
So I do coach. That does bring me home a little late. That's the part of it. My kids are my ball boys. Man, it's just
that's awesome, man.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
So I'm living my best life, and these kids think sometimes high school is supposed to be their best life. I try to tell them this is just a stepping stone to your best life.
Yeah.
You had some great times, but it shouldn't be.
But don't settle.
Yeah.
Don't
settle.
Took me a while to realize that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I've realized that, and that I got a whole life ahead of me.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, you want to look up at it, and I had a good time.
But because the thing was, I did sports is all I knew.
Yeah.
So when that was kind of done, it was like, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
But I'm only 19, and I'm thinking my life's done.
Yeah, that's the hard part to tell a kid. Is like, dude, you just started.
And it took me.
You're just getting going.
And it took me I like this because there's no ceiling to this. There's no end to this to what I want to do. So I finally
your limitations are set by yourself.
Exactly. So it took me some years, but you know what? I feel a lot better, man.
Yeah.
And this has kind of been very therapeutic because I could talk about things 100%. That
I've
are
watched
always
you
on my
in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh yeah, I know.
When you first came back, you were a mess.
Yeah.
You were.
I just didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And
that's fine though.
Yeah.
But you got to sit down and say it though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I got to figure this out.
Right.
If you don't ever say that, like, if you don't ever get to that point,
you gotta acknowledge it.
You gotta acknowledge it.
I did eventually, and found something that I just love, man.
Awesome.
I look forward to it.
It's phenomenal.
And so
there you go.
Thank you for being a part of it.
Heck yeah, man. I enjoyed it.
Took you a while to come on. Been telling you.
You're right.
That's it. But
you're right. I enjoyed it.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
But this is the Mulberry podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.